We'll elaborate a bit more in the cognitive, emotional, and action reconditioning. The Talmud tells a fascinating story. There was a man called Rabbi, a great sage. He mastered the Babylonian Talmud. And then the Talmud says that since he now wanted to grow intellectually in his understanding of ideas, he wanted to now master what was called the Jerusalem Talmud, which was a very different style of teaching, different methodology, different way of processing. So it says that he fasted. He fasted 100 fasts in order to forget his previous study, to be able to discover a new way of studying. The obvious question is asked, knowledge is accumulative. Why would you need to forget what you knew yesterday in order to learn new ideas today? The answer is he wasn't interested in forgetting what he had learned. It was the methodology. The Babylonian approach in the academy was to ask questions, to stretch an idea, arguments, counter-arguments, contradictions, until it's crystallized. The Jerusalem approach was a very different one. It was far more intuitive. You came to a certain epiphany or clarity, and then you built a case around it. Not from the bottom up, but more of like a flash of an idea. In the Hasidic texts, the difference between one is refractive light, a light that comes from the bottom up. The other is a direct light, like coming from the top down. The difference between, let's say, the moon and the sun. He wanted to forget the moon-like approach, which was refractive, which was through the struggle, and gain a new clarity through the Jerusalem approach. So the fasting was not to forget what he had learned, to forget the method. This is something mind-blowing. Most of us, they say by age 8, have already our mindsets, how we process, for good or for bad. Very difficult to change how we process things. You can learn new information throughout your entire life, but how to process information, we get used to our tools and we usually stick to them. Here was a man, in the 40s or whatever his age was ready to go ahead and, in a sense, erase his hard drive and his methodology to learn a new methodology. This is true growth because it's going out of your comfort zone. It wasn't because he wasn't a master. He was a master. He could have gone and cruised along and been an expert, but he wanted a new method. In our personal lives, it's thinking differently. Think different. To do so, you need to be challenged. So that's how we get out of our comfort zone on the cognitive level.